I'm giving up. That's the title of the thread that was started 6 days ago on Reddit, and basically the author is sharing his thoughts, his experience with vibe coding. So he believed the hype, he tried it out, started some project, but unfortunately it didn't work out as he expected. It turned out to be much harder than he initially anticipated, and now he is giving up. So before we read everything here out loud, let's just lay some common ground. At the time of recording of this video, we are in early July 2025, and at this point in time, everyone is talking about AI, agents, AI generated code, agentic workflows, and so on, and all the tools that come with that, like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, ChatGPT, and so on. Yeah, and every day we are hearing about new, supposedly revolutionary releases of new features that right now we are like either already we made software engineers obsolete, or we are so close that we just have to wait for the next release couple more weeks or couple more months at best, and we won't need software engineers at all. And people that are pumping out this content are, of course, social influencers like people on LinkedIn, YouTubers, bloggers, and so on. And we wouldn't have to worry about that if not for the people at the very top of the society that also believe this. So even politicians, but also people in the tech itself, like CEOs of big tech, are doing layoffs and justifying them with AI, saying that right now we already have the tools that are replacing the work of our employees, so we can just lay them off and do things more efficiently. So here is the thing. We are dealing with this reality. It's undeniable, but it's important for us for people like myself who are software engineers, who are inside all of that, to understand what is really happening and what is marketing, and maybe what things are a bit exaggerated, if not straight up lies, and what is really the reality behind those tools and what can we do with them. And so that's the theme of this video, and that's what I am thinking about for the past couple weeks, if not months, because it's such a vital topic, and it's a topic of vital importance for everyone in IT, especially software engineers, to really distinguish between the hype and the reality. So here is the post itself. I just want to say that I am giving up on creating anything anymore. Yeah, he is giving up. So what's happened? I was trying to create my little project, and he calls it little, yeah. But because that person is not really a programmer from his background, this estimation might not really be true. That's at least in my experience, what I know from people with little programming knowledge. They would call something like small project was just a small change, when in reality it might be really hard or require big amounts of work. Yeah, so this estimation would need to be verified, but at least in his own words, that was not something big. He expected it to be just a little project. But every time there are more and more errors. Yeah, and I'm sick of it. So he is trying to generate some code, but the new code that he generates creates new kinds of errors. And of course, he tries to deal with them using those code generating tools. But one error they fix, the new one pops out. I'm working on it for about 3 months. Yeah, so here he's already dedicated not 1 week, but 3 months to this little project. And remember, what are the claims? We don't need software engineers at all, that you can do everything almost instantaneously. Yeah, or at least you will be able to do it in a very near future. But here, 3 months for a little project. I do not have any experience with coding. So here he shares his background and was doing everything through AI. So he tries different tools, Cursor, ChatGPT, etc., But every time I want to change a little thing, I kill 4 days debugging other things that go south. Yeah, so that's very important observation that he made that somehow is completely missing from all of this marketing and all of those videos where they are just praising those AI tools and so on. So once you want to add something new, the system that you already have in existence, if you are not writing something from scratch, and probably if you want to build a product, you will want to use something that you already have and just expand on it with time. Yeah, so when you do something like this and you already have something that's there, some kind of code that is integrated and that has some dependencies internally, you cannot, or it's very rare that you can just add another thing on top of it. You always have to somehow either break the existing dependencies or the existing connections, or at least slightly modify them. Yeah, it doesn't work this way that you can just like this picture that a lot of people seem to have, that once you have programming project, or once you have a product and you want to add something to it, you can just create the stuff for this new thing and somehow glue it together with the existing stuff. That in most cases it doesn't work like this. Yeah, and here he's experiencing this firsthand. So I do not have any more energy in me to work on this. And instead of this being like breeze and very easy stuff, it's exhausting for him because he was not expecting that he will have to think about it and put so much energy into it. It is hopeless. AI is still just so stupid, and it will fix one thing but destroy 10 other things in your code. And that's another important thing, that if you give it a task, it may accomplish this task, but if you don't understand all the changes and all the decisions it made, it may have a ripple effect on other stuff that is already there. Yeah, so just adding a new feature doesn't mean that it didn't break anything that was already there. Yeah, and that is a thing which, if you don't really have a clear picture of what your code is doing, it's I think it's almost impossible for you to deal with such issue. I'm really sad because I was enjoying it in the beginning. Yeah, so exactly. So that's the thing that is always promoted. Beginning, when you start things from scratch, it can just pull out code from the internet or generate it on its own, and you have this demo or this like MVP, very small version of your product very quickly. But once you start working on it, then all the problems seem to come at you. But now it is just pain and rage. Head down for those people who can create something and is working without coding knowledge. Yeah. So that's really a thing that resonates with me. And it also, I can also confirm, as I was reading it, I was giving already some confirmations with my own personal experience about how those things work and what is really happening in real life software development. Yeah, and here he doesn't even have requirements from some other person. In real life, he would also need to deal with stakeholders and other people on your team and so on. So even here, this situation is extremely simple compared to other real life scenarios, because he can change requirements on his own will and at any point drop some feature or when it doesn't work. But it still was very hard for him, and even he gave up after 3 months. But in reality, it might even get more complex, because you cannot just change stuff the way you want if you are working at some software house or if you are just creating a software for a client. You have to really make sure that all the requirements are implemented. And the thing is, as I mentioned, that most of the people, at least in my experience, and it was the case even long before AI or anything like ChatGPT. Imagine coding being like just understanding some kind of code and that's it. Yeah, so once you understand the code, you can do everything with it. You don't have to really deal with any decision making or any kind of working out how the dependencies are affecting everything, and without any complexities. They just imagine that you have just some cryptic language that once you know it, you can do everything with it, and the programming is just building blocks one on top of another. Yeah, and there is no complexity and no inner connections. Yeah, that's how most of the people imagine what programming is, and that's why we have a lot of that marketing going on, and why a lot of people believe that once you have a very good generator for the code, your job is done, and you don't need anyone really understanding anything. Yeah, but in my experience, and even here, people who don't do it professionally, but just want to do something for fun, it's not really the case. Once you start working on a product, once it starts going, you have complexities, and the biggest part of your work is dealing with them. It's not just generating the codes. Like for most software engineers, the obstacle was never that they have had some idea and they didn't know how to translate it into the code. Yeah, the most important part is dealing with the code that exists already. And if you don't have a clear picture of how it works, and you just completely skip this part, yeah, you make it like into black box and just deal with human language, like just talk to the AI through English, I think that you might have initial success like he had, but once the project starts growing, it will get either disastrous, or you will need to invest much more time instead that you would need to do when you would have planned everything from the beginning and understood it and did it like with a proper software engineering approach. So that's the state of affairs, but how the things will go in the future, that's really not possible to say right now. But either we will have this future that is promised to us by all the influencers and tech CEOs, that we will finally get this one release that will make everything obsolete, or rather the reality of what we have right now will continue for some long time, and we will simply adjust the load for the software engineers, and things will be going on in similar way that they were working before. As those are like two options that I see, and as of now, it looks like the second option is happening and will continue to be so. So here are some comments. This is code software development. It's about being able to debug the same issue 20 times and keep going. That's what happens to junior developers as they are learning to code, but it keeps happening to seniors as they are implementing new solutions, learning new technologies, etc. That's what developers do. So if you think it's hard, it is. You have to be stubborn and a little crazy to go from zero to a working app. And once spent a full month trying to find a super tricky bug and nearly got fired for not being able to fix it. I had to tear down an app we've built for 4 years to find the nasty bastard. It was one line in a random setting file, completely unrelating to the actual bug. I don't think many people build everything with AI without any experience. It's hard. What tools are you using? So much this. Building a working, useful app is hard. It's hard for experienced coders. People with CS degrees from MIT and decades of experience spend hours upon hours debugging and banging their heads against the wall to fix broken features, only to find that the solution was staring them, at them in the face the whole time. It happens, bro. It's not just part of the process. It is the process. Yeah, and so on. This post made me smile as a software dev. Thank you. One piece of advice: learn how to code. You've been bitten by the product making bug and you liked it. So sharpen your tools to be able to build even better things. Good luck. And so on.